Next question is, the foundational basis of Western democracy has been shaped by Locke's ideas of constitutionalism, freedom, and property. So Western democracy and Locke concept of freedom, constitutionalism, and democracy. Constitutionalism, freedom, and property. So it is, first of all, you know, the time period of Locke in 17th century, 1632 to 1704. And the Western democracies are inspired a lot from Locke's thought. First of all, Locke belongs to social contract individualism, along with Hobbes and Rousseau. So individual is rational, not the state. And mechanistic theory of a state, that the state is machine, which is means individual is the end. And Locke individualism in terms of individual freedom, in terms of security also, but primarily focus on individual liberty, individual freedom. And he is called father of classical liberalism because he, for the first time, advocated for constitutional government. Constitutional government means limited government. So power holders cannot misuse power. There will be ample scope for individual freedom. And in social contract, the rational individuals conditionally surrendered their natural rights to the state, but retaining LLP, that is life, liberty, and property. So Locke used property in two sense: one in narrow sense, property that like real estate, land, jewelry; one in broad sense, like LLP, life, liberty, and property. And Locke's concept inspired American political system because Locke favored separation of powers. By separation of powers also, there'll be checks and balance, there'll be no misuse of powers, there'll be constitutional government. So he's called father of classical liberalism. He favored minimal state. He favored the night watchman's state. Government must act as trustee of LLP, failing which people means majority, can revolt against the state. And disintegration of a state will not lead to disintegration of civil society because they are formed by two different contracts. So people will have right to revolt against a state if government fails to protect life, liberty, and property as a trustee or as a caretaker. And Locke also favored religious freedom that Western democracies have also followed. In our case, also Article 25 to 30. They are meant for minority rights. They are meant for the civil liberties, religious liberties, religious tolerance, because tolerance is one of the important value of liberalism, capitalism. So Western countries like America, that is preamble is also inspired from Locke. That preamble is based on social contract, and subsequent generation will give consent to that contract. That is tactical consent, not direct consent, because right from childhood we get benefit of that social contract. So be it preamble, be it religious rights, be it tolerance, be it separation of powers, be it constitutional government, be it limited government, be it civil liberties, be it tolerance to criticism, be it life, liberty, and property. Because in liberalism, capitalism, private property is considered to be an incentive to work hard to contribute more for the society. And Locke also gave labor theory that man is owner of his personality, his labor, his creations, due to his intelligence, his hard work. So he will have no restriction on earned property. There'll be restriction on only inherited property. So by giving ample incentive to have earned property, this is also in accordance with the labor theory of Locke, which is resembling with American political system and Western political system with market economy and private property. And Locke also favored no taxation by the government without the consent of the people. American Revolution also gave the slogan, no taxation without representation. Our constitution, Article 265, also says no taxation without law of the legislature. So there will be check on arbitrary taxation. Although Locke says that atheists should not be trusted in Western world like America. It is said, I swear on the name of God. So Western world in general and America in particular, their political system resembles a lot with Locke's thought, his social contract individualism, his mechanistic theory of a state, his classical liberalism. And most importantly, as I said, constitutional government, limited government, minimal state, father of classical liberalism. And it says that rationality is the attribute of man, not the state. So this is how you can write this answer.